Привіт, I'm Chuck Olinik. I'm a Ukrainian-American baptized with the name Yaroslav, and that's the name I use in the Society for Creative Anachronism, where I'm known as Yaroslav the Persistent, or Yari. I've been putting together videos about Slavic folklore and mythology and Slavic history and customs, and recently I was reminded of how amongst the Cossacks of the Zaporozhian Sich, or Sich, as I tend to say it because I'm lazy, which was located above the rapids of the Dnipro River, they practiced some pretty harsh forms of justice. The death sentence could be imposed for embezzlement, theft, lying, and slander, of course murder. And I'd read how the offending Cossack would be sentenced to death and tied to a post, and a club left beside him, and as other Cossacks passed by him, each was supposed to strike him with the club, and this would continue until the guilty Cossack was dead. But a woman could save a man's life by removing her scarf and covering his head, and that reminded me of some Slavic mythology, so I've got to cover that and then get back to this custom. And it goes to the Zorya or Zarya, but that means I've got to talk about the Zorya's father, Dazhbog. Dazhbog is the Slavic god of the sun. Every day, Dazhbog is born and grows older as the day goes on. He dies with the sunset, a red-faced, bloated old man, only to be reborn the next morning with the sunrise. And this is where the children of Dazhbog, or as they're usually referred to, Dazhbog's maidens, come in. The Zorya, the daughters of the sun god Dazhbog, were often called the auroras of the dawn and the dusk and of midnight. They opened and closed the gates of his heavenly palace so he could ride out on his chariot across the sky. They also guarded the world by keeping watch over a doomsday beast that was chained to the pole star. If it were to ever break free, it would destroy the world. Okay, actually there's 5 daughters. Throw in the morning star and the evening star, but we've got to focus upon one of the daughters in particular. Zorya Utrennyaya, the aurora of the dawn, the very personification of the dawn. As the dutiful daughter of Dazhbog, she is the one who opens the gates of her father's palace so he can ride forth at the start of his daily journey on his diamond chariot drawn by 12 fire-breathing horses with golden manes. He is attended by Dazhbog's maidens and the planets and 7 messengers, the comets. In some versions, Zorya Utrennyaya is married to Perun. As the wife of Perun, she accompanies her husband when he rides out to do battle, and she's depicted as a fully armed and courageous warrior, the patron goddess of horses, and amid the fray, she lets down her veil to protect those warriors she favors to save them from death. And there's an invocation or a protective charm to gain her favor in battle. O Virgin, unsheathe your father's sacred sword, take up the breastplate of your ancestors, take up your powerful helm, bring forth your steed of black, fly to the open field, there where the great army with countless weapons is found. O Virgin, cover me with your veil, protect me against the power of the enemy, against arrows, warriors, and weapons, against weapons of wood, of bone, of copper, and iron and steel. So, let's go back to the Cossacks and the death sentence. This was a pretty rough and tumble fraternity in the Zaporozhian Sich. And you have to understand, okay, very strict laws as far as, theft from a brother, that's a death sentence. Embezzlement, that's a death sentence. Murdering one of your own, a death sentence. So now we go back to the Zorya and the veil that she would cast upon her favored warriors and protect them from death. if an unmarried woman were to remove her scarf and throw this over the head of one of the Cossacks who'd been sentenced to death, she saved his life and she gained a husband. I just thought it was an amazing connection there between the mythology and then this custom. So, until the next time, do pobачення.